Hey y'all, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to change your footer in your WordPress website, and there's a couple different ways to do this, so we'll go through them one by one and you can try the different ways out and see which one finds it on your website. So first off, what is a footer? If we go to our page here in powerdown.com, scroll down to the bottom, it's basically the stuff that appears down here. So chances are there's a couple different layers in WordPress that are controlling this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go take a look to see how to change it. So the first one that I would start with is to go ahead and go into your theme options. And this is going to be different based on the different theme that you have. So there's no set way that these theme developers have where they make their options for the theme available to you. There's a couple different ways. So I'll show you the top one. Sometimes it's in the settings and you might have one of these drop downs for your theme. Other times it could be just an actual something theme on the side here, a main one. You know, I use Thrive themes, which is really good. And what they have is the Thrive dashboard, and then I can go into the theme options. So there I found mine. So I'm going to pull that up, and if you go through, this is going to look totally different based on your actual website. So you have to go through here and look at the different settings. And somewhere in here, usually you'll see like one line, like footer copyright text. You know, if I type in something here, then it's going to actually show up in that footer area. And chances are when you get the theme right out of the box, they'll have something in there that might link back to their website. So you would just, you know, grab that text and delete it if you wanted to remove that. Or if you wanted to add your own, this is an easy way to add something in there. So that's the very top method you want to look for. Like I said, your theme is going to be different based on what you have. I use Thrive themes. Highly recommend them. They're really awesome. You get a lot of functionality out of the box, and it's pretty good price on it. And I'm using the Rise theme for this website right now. So highly recommend them. But like I said, depending on your theme, it'll look a little different. You just got to find the theme settings. Sometimes you can catch it over in Appearance and then go to Customize. And depending on if your theme hooked up some of the stuff in WordPress, you might see some of those options in those menus that pop up. For Thrive, not necessarily so for the footer, but luckily I was able to find it here. Now the next method, if you go into Appearance and you want to go into Widgets, this is how you can add some cool stuff into the footer as well. So right here, you know, we've got our main sidebar. I don't have much going on mine because I don't know about y'all, but especially in recent times, most people don't pay attention to the sidebar anymore. So the question is, well, why do we have it on there? You know, everybody on their websites was having a crazy sidebar, and people just got immune to it for now. So I keep mine minimal at this point in time. We'll see if that changes in the future. But back to the point here, the footer, we've got different columns here. Luckily with my theme, it supports 3 different columns for the footer. And if I click the down arrow, then it allows me to pick any of these guys over here that I want to drag over and put in. So if you want some text down in the footer, the best one is to scroll on down to where you find your text box, which is this guy. And you can, you know, either click it here and it will say where do you want to add it, or you could drag it up if you don't mind scrolling back up a while. So then you can drop it in there. And as you can see what I've got, this is where I have my copyright statement. So that's one, and then if you want something to appear below that, of course, this is where I drop my very precise copyright statement. So you can change the text and how it looks based on what you want. Like I said, I've got 3 columns to play with here. So in the middle one, I put some other stuff and use a little HTML to get some links in there. So you can do what you want there as well. You know, if you're not good at writing HTML, you can actually use the WordPress editor that you find in when you go to make a post or a page, and you know, use the visual editor and then click on over to the text tab in there, and that's going to spit out that HTML that you can copy paste in here, which is really cool. So that's something to keep in mind. I think like it's telling me now, if I would to use the modern widget, they actually have the WordPress editor built in here, right? So I just haven't updated this website in a while. I'm used to the older school stuff, and since I already know how to do it. But yeah, yours is probably going to look a little different if I went and grabbed the the most recent text block, then chances are I think the WordPress editor is built right in here. So you don't have to go through the posts and pages to do that. But anyways, you can customize it however you want on text. And then obviously I've got the footer column 3 as well. And that's where I put a bunch of other links for all my policies and stuff like that. So that's the second best method. You know, if you can't find it in the theme options and you can't find it here in the footer stuff for the widgets, then you know the third place, which is a lot more risky, so proceed with caution at your own risk. You can actually go into Appearance and then Editor, and there might be something stuffed into the footer.php file of your theme. So the problem is if you're not a coder and you don't know what you're doing here, you can break your website. So that's probably not going to be good for most people. And you know, chances are I've never had to go in here and edit this file. I mean, high quality themes, they make this accessible through the theme options. If they're doing their job correctly, in my opinion, they shouldn't have to have you go into their code to edit it. Plus, anytime you update the theme, these files are probably going to get overwritten. So you have to do what's called creating a child theme so that when you do update it, it doesn't override some of the things you've changed. So if you're not comfortable with doing that, just stay the heck away from this method because you can literally break your website. But just wanted to include it for completeness. This is the footer.php file. Luckily, again, Thrive, they do a good job. They made that accessible in the options so that I don't have to go in here and do this. But if you have one of those weird themes that somebody just wanted to hide something in the footer on you, and there's you know, you have to do something about it, this is where you do that. But if you don't save this in a nice safe place like a text file and you mess something up, then you could hose up your website. So we don't want you to do that. So just make sure you're careful on how you proceed there. But that's the top 3 methods. Like I said, it's pretty much a breeze to change your footer. Go and find your theme options. Chances are there's a line in there you can edit. If not there, go ahead and look in your appearance, widgets, and look in those different footer sections based on your theme. And then the final method that's very risky, be careful with it, is your footer.php file based on your theme. But keep in mind that's probably anything you change is going to get washed out when you update the theme in the future. So you have to do what's called a child theme, and you need to know how to do that. So that's way out of scope for this video. Like I said, hope that helps you out with your problem. Just wanted to show you real quick. Thanks.